Hi, welcome to the channel. There remain a number of rules that remain unclarified by GW and yet are clarified by GW from other sources. Very confusing. I thought I'd go over a few of the most commonly confused and incorrectly played rules at the moment. Overwatch from vehicles and monsters in combat. The ruling is, you can't. So vehicles and monsters have a rule big guns never tire that allows them to shoot while they're in engagement range with another unit. They can shoot in or out of combat, and that rule is a shooting phase rule. So if you want to use the Overwatch strat, that rule will not be eligible, as it's not your shooting phase. GW did make a ruling on out of phase rules, saying you can't use any other rules that are normally triggered in that phase. Another one related to this that I've seen is that vehicles and monsters in combat can still be shot at. However, if you're in engagement with a vehicle and monster, you can't shoot unless you're eligible to do so, as in you have a pistol, a special rule, or a vehicle monster yourself. In a tournament game, I had someone trying to shoot a load of Necron heavy destroyers at a demon prince that had tied them up with combat. Of course they can't. The rest of his army could of course shoot in. Next up, and following the same vein, Overwatch from transports, carrying models, and shooting with firing deck. The ruling is, you can't. This comes back to the GW out of phase clarification again. The firing deck rule states that in your shooting phase you can fire guns from models embarked within. Since the Overwatch strat isn't played in your shooting phase, you can't use firing deck. This may come as a shock, as the amount of players who bring an impulsor with eradicators or flamers just to have this play is quite surprising. Another one related to this. When the firing deck is used in your shooting phase, the weapons are considered to be fired from the transport itself. This is nice because hazardous weapons will impact the vehicle and not the models inside, but it also means that any special abilities the unit has, or the unit leader has, can't be applied to the shooting. There are lots of units that get partial or full rerolls because of abilities. These don't apply to firing deck. The heavy special rule does if the vehicle hasn't moved, as this is on the weapon. The last one is about aircraft, and to be honest, they are a bit rubbish in 10th. Models with the aircraft keyword can't be deployed turn 1. They come in from reserves from turn 2. Since when a model arrives from reserves they're considered to have made a normal move, when they arrive they are just on the table edge, meaning turn 3 is the earliest an aircraft can actually fly across the board. When you're moving an aircraft you move it a minimum of 20 inches in the direction it faces, so be careful the way you aim it. Then at the end of the move it can pivot up to 90 degrees. It's really limiting, to be honest. The key part of this is if an aircraft has hover, then at the start of the game only, you can declare it as hovering instead. It loses the aircraft keyword and anything that brings. It can be deployed turn 1. It instead moves up to 20 inches like any other fly model, so it's much more useful. So there's my few rules that people tend to get wrong. Now please drop me a comment of the rules that you find that people get wrong, and I'll probably make another video about those. I'll see you again soon. Bye.